Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Squirt.
Squirt who?
Squirt is P, you dumb rednecks.
Right about now, you are listening to the incredible
A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan, who kindly remind you that squirt is P.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath. Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
I wish my refund hurry up so I can have a taxitude.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
I'ma be like, let me get 20 on pump 3.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Matter of fact, make it 25, and yes, I would like to donate to the March of Dimes, so ring me up that Coke and candy bar 2 for $2.22 deal where $1 goes to March 2. Oh, and ring these Skittles up for my kid too. And when the cashier tells me to have a nice day, I'm gonna be like, no ma'am, you have a blessed day, sugar.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Pull down my shades like Kim Kardashian, smile like Gabrielle Union.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Flip my bundles like Nicki Minaj, and queen out the door like Beyonce.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Goofy face, goofy face, goofy face, heart, 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 muscle, muscle, muscle.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Sassy black girl, sassy black girl, sassy black girl. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Hashtag so what? Hashtag I ain't shame. Hashtag my money. Hashtag call me taxitude, honey.
Everybody singing.
Everyone knows about Santa. Folks claim that he's the best. But what do you know about Krampus? Find out at Krampus Fest. Krampus is coming. He's got his bag of sticks. For if your kids do not behave, he'll whip them on their dicks.
Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast.
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello, this is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
It is another A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom, and joining us today on the couch, our friend and neighbor, Colette Fehr is here. How you doing, Colette?
I'm great. I'm already laughing.
So
Very good. Did you know that Krampus will whip you on your dick?
He'll
do it. He'll do it good.
So before we get started today, a couple things. I got back from my Thanksgiving Day camping trip, and I want to thank Giant Recreation World. They've got a promotion going on. If you mention Tom and Dan when you rent a travel trailer like I did, or RV, or they have golf carts. In fact, the golf carts are 20% off if you mention Tom and Dan, but you get 10% off if you mention Tom and Dan if you rent an RV from Giant Recreation World. So make sure to do that.
Your setup made me mad.
It's nice. It's nice renting from them.
His setup made me mad. The setup that he and his family had, they did not deserve to have a setup that nice. It was so nice.
Really?
And I was like, look at their setup. They think they're fucking better than me.
They got nice RVs and travel trailers, and when you rent from them, you're gonna get quality.
You know what? You know what?
Glamping.
You know what I'm glad they did with RVs, Colette, which is sort of interesting. I'm glad that somewhere along the line, and I don't know why we did this, we decided that we're like, you know what? We know that the exterior of the RV, and it happened for boats too. We're like, we know boats and we know RVs should be white because they get really hot in the sun. But we don't care anymore. We're making them dark gray and black, and we're going to make them dark, and then they're going to look cooler. And it's going to kill the efficiency, but we're going to make them look cooler.
It looks swanky.
Because I always had my travel trailers. I was a Sunline boy. My dad loved the Sunline brand of trailers. You can look them up. I think it was a subsidiary of Fleetwood, and then mine were always like eggshell, like shit cream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a shit cream.
Yeah.
Like instead of or bright white. Why not have it look dark gray or black so it looks like a Batmobile or something? Anyway,
there's actually a new color for white that is the Pantone color of the year. That's called Cloud Dancer. Or Cloud Chaser.
Oh.
But it's really eggshell.
Tom's Native American. What does that mean?
I am not.
What does Cloud Dancer mean?
It's Tom's Native
Did
American
you know
name.
he was Native American?
No, are you really?
No,
Yeah.
I'm not. I was just told that by my family, just like everybody in Florida.
Yeah, you're from New York, right? So
Yes.
your family, I'm guessing, wasn't as trashy and didn't tell you and fill
It's
your
a
head
southern
full
thing.
of Indian tails and puppy dog's nails.
I've also had my DNA done, and I'm exactly what I thought I was, which is like 50% Italian and 50% like Irish, Scottish, like half a New Yorker.
All right,
So
all right, very
no
good.
surprise DNA in there. I was like wanting to find something cool and like a lost brother or sister, but so far no dice.
We'll get to secret families later. You'll see. You'll see.
A lot of people want to find something cool in their DNA, and I'm here to tell you, just look in the mirror, nothing cool. You know? Like, you'll notice if there's something cool there.
I wanted something. We
You
had
know
a
what I'm saying?
lister.
Like,
We had a
if you're
lister.
generic white dude or girl,
Yeah.
you're probably European of some sort.
Well, that's how my husband's came out. It was like German, 100%. Like, that's it.
We had a listener reach out and say that he found some pretty interesting stuff about Tom's possible Native American like history.
That's
and
so
then,
cool.
And he said he thinks he found it, and then he said he found some interesting stuff about me. But then he emailed us. I want to say like 3 weeks ago, like guys, I found it. And then I think he died.
I'm here.
We haven't gotten an email back. Yeah. I wrote him. I'm like, oh, this is great. I'd love to talk to you about.
Someone killed him for what he found.
Who knows what he found out? He said he found out some interesting stuff, though.
I
don't know.
There's nothing interesting about anybody, for the most part. You see what I'm saying?
What does that mean? Why do you got to be so negative? Why you got to be so negative, man?
It's not negative. I'm just saying.
That is negative.
No,
You and I have been doing a bit called Weird Job Wednesday where we take uninteresting people and we pull the interesting out of them.
Yeah,
I would
and
totally
I would
disagree
argue
with you.
everyone's interested.
I would completely
I'm
disagree
talking about
with your
in your
broad swipe negativity.
your
Don't do
heritage.
that. That's so cheap. Don't.
In
don't
your
do that.
heritage, you're like, I want to be, cousins with King Louis.
Oh,
or
no,
that kind of thing.
You're not gonna get that.
You're not gonna get that.
Yeah. It's it'd be interesting to you, nobody else.
But I do have a friend who found out that her dad wasn't her dad from doing that, literally, had no idea, and found 3 siblings and a new dad. The dad who raised her is deceased. Whoa. Her mother's deceased, and it took a lot of adjusting to that new reality, but she's now made relationships with a whole new family. Isn't that wild?
We were having this conversation over Thanksgiving with some family about this, and then a lot of people in the room knew someone that found family members they didn't know about, like half sisters, half brothers from DNA tests.
Weird, you never find a hidden mom.
That's kind of impossible.
That's a joke.
But in this case, this dad didn't even remember sleeping with her mom. Like, it was like an alcoholic haze one night stand from 50 years ago. He was like, I don't even know who your mom is. But she's like, well, the test says that you did indeed have sex with my mom. So,
oh my God, isn't that the Heart song? Where he sees her, he sees her, and he sees the baby's eyes.
Yes.
And he knows that it's his, and then she's like, please understand.
I'm in love with another man. Yeah. Oh, it's such a good song, too.
Oh, my, you and I are sisters. What are we doing after this?
I know.
Let's
singing,
go. Let's go shopping, girlfriend.
So, Colette, let's talk about promoting your book, The Cost of Quiet. And I laugh because, we've been doing shows together for a couple months now.
Yeah.
And all I've seen you do is you're on the go. You're flying across the country. You are hustling. Crazy. Yes. You're on different podcasts. You're constantly just working all weekend.
I've never seen her stop. She comes in here, and this is not making fun of you. Please don't get mad.
Okay. You can make
Every
fun of
time
me.
you run in here, you're huffing and a puffing. Like you're like, hey, come in. You're like, okay, let's go. And all right, calm down.
It's ridiculous.
You could write another book after this, The Cost of Promoting a Book.
Yes, that's what I should have written.
Screw the cost of quiet. The cost of this promotion.
She has that quiet in a year.
It's going to be way more than the cost of being quiet.
It's like 9 months of pure insanity.
It's kind of hell, honestly, and really people don't know what this book launch process is like. Of course, if you're some like super famous person and you have a whole team of people to handle all of this for you, then maybe it's a lot better. But for me, I'm doing it all really myself. And it's just a lot of, you're right, I'm running in, I'm running out, I'm doing media interviews, I'm writing articles for media, I'm meeting with my publisher, I'm putting together events, I'm on podcasts, I do 2 of my own podcasts, right, with you guys, and the other one I have for women at midlife.
We're contributing to the problem.
No, it's great. This actually coming here is always the bright spot in my week, and I truly mean it because it's so fun and effortless. I feel like just talking to you guys about stuff.
Tom and Dan, fun and effortless.
Tom and Dan, fun and
are we
effortless.
like
New
your
tagline.
Are we like your therapist?
Yeah. No, I like to think of us as her. You know what I like to think of us as? Your 2 audio pool boys. Is that too far? That might be too far.
I love it.
Pool boy. We're like, let's have some. Oh, she's here.
So Colette, let's talk about some of these podcasts because you've told us some stories, and even on Love Thy Neighbor,
some of them we can't talk about it.
Which we should promote. If you're not subscribed to Love Thy Neighbor, you could easily do it through all different podcast platforms.
Somebody messaged me this morning and said we were back on the charts, and it would make sense because we just released an episode yesterday, and then I went and it's already changed.
It changes constantly.
Yeah, but we're popping up there. We're still consistently popping up there, especially after we release a show, and you can find it everywhere. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get podcasts.
So what's it been like doing this podcast interview, tour. It was got to be weird, right?
Yeah, the podcasts I think are my favorite part of all the promoting in that I enjoy talking. I mean, I wrote the book because I'm really passionate about the topic, which is helping people communicate in ways that let them really figure out what they're feeling and needing, tell their partner in a clear, calm way. I mean, it sounds so simple, and not abandon themselves in the process, because we talk about this so many times. You sweep little things under the rug, and when you do that, you end up getting distant and disconnected. But we end up doing that because we feel like it's not going to go well when we try to say something. So I really give a method in the book called self-connected communication that makes it very clear and easy to figure out what you need to say and say it to your partner. But the biggest thing is that you're showing up for yourself. Otherwise, you self-abandon, you're resentful, you're disconnected, you're lonely, your marriage, your relationship falls apart. But more importantly, you're miserable, right? You destroy your own inner well-being. So I love...
you'll get used to it.
Okay, I'm going to say something, and we're on the Friday Free Show. I have to say it.
Yeah, say it.
When you say there's certain things that people say that like tingle me a little bit. When you said destroy your inner being, I got a little bit of a boner.
Yeah.
Like I am because my self-talk is the fucking worst. I have the worst self-talk of any human on the planet, and you might be a really close neck and neck. Or we change first and second place daily,
and you're not alone.
And he wins all the time. Like our self-talk, like so not to make this about therapy or anything.
No, but it's negative.
If people heard what we say about each other and what we say in our minds about ourselves,
well, it's true.
I agree with him 100%.
This is the
we shake
biggest
hands.
problem. This is what people do, right? They're so hard on themselves.
Yeah.
That you're harder on yourself than other people. So I address all of that in the book.
And you're
how
doing
to
it
change
now,
that.
even with you promoting it. I see you come in here and you're like, because you're not immune to it just because you're in the space.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you have doubt and you're like, why the did I do that?
Yes.
That was terrible. That was a waste of time.
Yes.
Have you had any glaring wastes of time other than Tom and Dan?
Yes, let me tell you, but an interesting thing happened. So, okay, one thing I want to say first about the self-talk, it's so normal, it's so human, and you really can change it. I used to be really hard on myself, and I definitely have the doubt and the moments, but I've really shifted into being nicer to myself. Like I've learned how to talk to myself when I get negative. So I think that's a big thing and a big reason I hope people read the book is that we all deserve to feel better inside. But I will give you an example of something I think was a mistake that I did end up regretting when I went on that show, whatever.
Oh, really?
You know, that it's a big podcast. I knew it was going to be controversial and debating, and I'm totally open to that. But it was a grueling experience. I got reamed and called this like horrible, insufferable, mega feminist. And I mean, that's like really not how I am. I feel like I'm very open-minded. I'm not someone who's out there with some agenda.
I mean, Tom is writing horrible mega feminist on a piece of paper in front of him right now.
It was just shocking. My husband
joking.
sent me 30 screenshots of people writing just horrible things about me. Then my daughter.
Oh my God, you had him gathering screenshots?
Yeah, he just was like, oh my God. And, I let most of it roll off my back. I don't regret it because I can't handle that. What I regretted it for is I thought, this isn't really going to be the audience for my book. The people who are on here attacking women with a lot of like nasty massage. I mean, I was on there with a bunch of young OnlyFans models. And it seemed to me like a lot of these men are like angry at women and they're writing, calling them whores and just bashing these young girls.
The chat room said, there's multiple people in the chat room that said that they saw you and your appearance on whatever only because that their algorithm is so filled with women's titties spilling out of their tube tops.
Yeah.
That you popped up on whatever just because of the girls. Yeah.
I sat next to a girl with boobs, macromancy. Her boobs were like this. And she's making like almost $1 million a year on OnlyFans. I mean, all the power to her. But then men are calling in and being like, you filthy whore, piece of shit. And just, it was hard for me to sit there to listen to that.
Yeah.
But the silver lining, I want to say, it was an experience, A. B, my brother knew the show. He's like, I can't believe you're on that show.
I couldn't believe you were on there too. Once I started
I
digging
can't
in,
believe
I'm like, I don't even know how you got on there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, right? It's kind of crazy.
It's great.
They cast me as the antagonist. So they had this very like conservative guy who likes to like attack politicians. And then Charlie Kirk had been on there before he died. Candace Owens has been on there. And then they had all the OnlyFans girls. And the host really, I felt like came after me more than anybody. But in the end, what ended up happening is that I went out there, I made a connection that has led to a potential partnership with a great company that I can't talk about yet, but if it happens, I will.
Okay.
And I ended up getting an author event at Godmother's, which is this bookstore in Montecito Oprah's involved with.
Oh, wow.
And I went in person. So had I not gone to do whatever, which I don't think anybody who heard me on whatever is buying my book,
Right.
but you never know.
Right, but you led to something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it's like, you put yourself out there. It's a lot of, the hard part is it's a lot of putting yourself out there. A lot of people ignore you, a lot of no's, and then you have to just develop a thick skin and keep going.
Yeah.
So Colette, what's your internal drive? Like, obviously you write this book, and let's talk about the process a little bit, because people are, I guess, they don't know the behind the scenes of when you get a book published. It's up to you to promote it, especially if you don't have a name and a huge nationwide or worldwide following. Like celebrities, they get paid to do books, and then they don't, they'll have to go on a promotional tour, but it's way different.
Well, that's a package that's gifted to them.
They're
right?
already known.
Yeah, like they have a package, and it's like, okay, this is the celebrity writes a book package that we're giving you.
Yeah, they're on Howard Stern, and that's all they have to do.
And
Yeah.
a lot of people think once you write the book, then your job is done. And it's like, oh, now it gets distributed and people buy it, and then that's it. And it's like, no. They want you to promote it, and they need minimums, and then we'll talk about your book launch, and me and Daniel are going to go in January. But
yeah, man.
So let's talk about the process of writing your own book.
Yes. So, and I want to encourage people, because I do think everyone has a book in them, whether it's fiction, memoir.
I know a guy that doesn't have a
nonfiction.
book in him. I'm sorry.
I mean, if you
I know the
want to
guy.
have a book in you, I want
you would actually have a really good book. It just doesn't.
agree.
I don't think it would move the needle for you to write a book.
I could write one on making your podcast business a business, but then as I think about it all, I'm like, everybody knows how.
No, honestly,
it's easy.
The book I would want, it would be hard, but like going back, and you'd have to find somebody whose memory was really good. And I want the reel on how you got all of those stunts and all the stuff you did back in your earlier radio days. I want all the dirt on how you even made that happen.
That would be so cool.
It would be.
It's not an interesting story.
It is to me.
Yes, it is.
It is to me.
Yeah, but
I would be interested.
But that's
in
only
that.
your opinion, and I know you rule with that. But I'm just saying. I mean, I would love that. I love behind the scenes books.
Me too.
Listening to an old podcast from 2017 right now called Cocaine and Rhinestones, that's about like the history of country music. And the first episode they do is about Ernest Tubbs. And it's like such a thing that I was like, why the hell would I want to listen to this? But I started listening to it, and the story's so compelling and great. Yeah. And I know you're a great storyteller. You have an amazing
Exactly.
story.
And that's it, right? It's storytelling. That's what pulls people in. We all know that. So the cool thing about this process, I will say, is that when I started writing my book, I wanted to write this because it's the best of what I've learned in almost 14 years of doing therapy, that I want people to have this information without having to come to therapy. And it's inspired by my personal experience getting divorced. It was a very messy process. I learned a lot. That's what made me become a therapist. So I put some of my personal story in there. But everybody told me, for exactly the reason you're pointing out, that I would never get a contract with what they call a big five publisher. It's the top publishers in the world. There's so much gatekeeping. You have to get a certain agent. And in the nonfiction world, if you're not already famous and you don't have a built-in platform, they don't want to give you a contract, because they do expect authors to do their own promoting now, unless you're super famous. So the cool thing is that I ended up getting a contract with Penguin Random House, which I had less than a 0.5% chance of getting a contract with them as an unknown person. And it's all from like hustle and believing in myself and really I think delivering a good product with an important message that's filling a void that was in the market. So I just want to say to people, if you have this aspiration in any way, go for it, because you don't know what will happen if you don't try.
So before we move on, who voted Penguin Random House as a good name for a book publishing company? Like, who was in that meeting where they're like, what should we name this place? Penguin Random House.
Honestly, there's got to be a really good explanation for that, right?
Well,
it just sounds ridiculous.
It does. It does. And it sounds random. But it is actually that Penguin was its own company and Random House was. They merged, and now it's the biggest publisher in the world.
And when you get because like nowadays, I could have AI write a book about Tom Van. I mean, I'm
writing one right now.
And then I could just go to a company and then print hardback, I could pay for 1,000 hardback books, and then
but that's self-publishing, right? Isn't that, that's different, right? Yeah. That's a different animal.
Yeah.
And then so when you partner with Penguin Random House, they promise to do what? Because,
I'm still waiting. No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, listen, you get a built-in. So first of all, I wrote every word myself. Some people use a ghostwriter, and no shame in that, but I had gone to graduate school for writing before I became a therapist. I didn't finish, but I've always loved writing. I've always wanted to write a book. So this is a big dream of mine, and I enjoy writing. So I wrote the whole book myself. No AI, but they provide you with really, really good editors. They do your book design. They do your distribution. They do some promotion and marketing for you. It's just the way the game works. They're going to, this is my personal belief, they've been wonderful. I mean, I love everyone I work with there, but they're going to put most of their investment into the famous author they paid a $2 million advance to. I'm the little guy on the bottom of the totem pole. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make sense. If my book's a huge hit, they'll be psyched and whatever, but they're putting their money behind, Michelle Obama, not Colette Fehr.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And that's how the business, I guess,
had her chance.
Works.
Yeah. And I don't know. I felt like I needed to say something there.
So I wanted to talk to you about this.
Do they have any real penguins there? Have they ever? I mean, okay, sorry.
I would love that.
Because this is the reason I'm here. I'm just guessing that at some point in some boardroom, and I don't want to get you into any trouble, but anything I say has nothing to do with Colette. They had to have said, "Hey, for the party, we gotta get some penguins, right?" Like maybe
they
in the
should
1940s.
have them in the lobby.
1940s,
They're
1950s.
right down the street at the Central Park Zoo. They have a great penguin thing. Bring them on over.
At least one in there, and he's holding the book, and to get some photos of him.
I would actually love that. And you know what? One cool thing I will say, I got to go into Penguin Random House for a meeting. They have this huge tower. They have their own building. It's Midtown on the west side.
Are there books everywhere?
Yes, the lobby's filled with books. There are guards. You have to be ushered in.
This is cool.
It was kind of swanky. That part was exciting. Yeah.
And then they're like, get out there and work.
Yeah.
Because we're not doing
hustle.
This. Yeah. And you have been hustling. So tell us about this podcast you're going to go on with your husband. Because you said
this is giving me anxiety. And he's such a nice guy. We got to meet him at the beer fest and hang out with him. And I'm like, don't bully this man. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
He's freaked out.
Tell him I said that. I like this guy.
He loved you guys, by the way.
Leave him alone.
So we're at the point, and I just saw some list of the top 10 podcasts of 2025 through Spotify. And then the only two I recognize is Rogan and Theo Von. And then the rest of them were named I've never even heard of. And then I'm like, we're living in a different world, obviously. And everybody has what they listen to, and it's all segmented crazy.
And everything's coming down, and even the biggies, like even Rogan and the Rogosphere, as it's called online, it's kind of popped, and it's, everything's settling out.
Because there's so much, right?
Delusion, the great delusion. Exactly. So what podcast are you going on with?
So I'm going on something called Marriage Therapy Radio, and it is supposedly within the top 1%, like a 0.5% top podcast.
Okay.
And I'm really excited. We're actually going to also have this guy on Insights from the Couch. We did a podcast swap, but his show, and I don't know that much about it yet, is that he has couples on and he wants to get into real relationships. So he's having me on to promote the book, but from the perspective of What's it like to be married to a couples therapist? What's the marriage of a couples therapist? So we had to do this whole screening thing. And have you gone to couples therapy yourselves? And was it helpful? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you with your marriage? So my poor husband, who's an accountant, like CFO, spreadsheet guy, he's very quiet. You met him. He's a total guy's guy.
Yeah.
Like
we were talking football.
Yes, he's into football and sports. And
now you're forcing him to do this meeting.
Yes, I'm like, you will do this, and you will make me look good, damn it.
No.
Yeah. So now, what's interesting to me is those questions they asked you. Because have you ever gone to a couples therapist with your husband?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, years and years of it in every different. First of all, I'm a believer in it, and I do it for a living. I'm a believer in it. Not that you have to be in crisis, that it's just good and healthy to always be working on your communication skills and airing issues. But I will give my husband some credit because I've guinea pigged the hell out of him. We've gone to marriage retreats. We've gone to every different model.
Oh, this guy's a Green Beret.
I've put him through hell.
Yes. He's literally like, he has all the skills. He's patient zero, man. He's been through all the tests.
And he has. And he's like, it's not easy for him to figure out what he feels. He doesn't love talking about what he feels.
But you force him to.
Well,
hold on.
Make him.
Serious question that I'll forget. And I know you'll answer honestly because that's the type of person you are. Through all the forcing, and him, obviously, he loves you. That's why he's doing it.
Right.
Has he gotten better at communicating?
Yes, he has.
So tried and true. You tested it. You put him through the paces. No matter what, it's like, look, dude, he did the work and he got better.
He got better. And I will say, though, that it's still relative to, like, it isn't his strong suit, communication. I'm not saying anything negative.
Yeah,
here.
you're not trying to turn him into LeBron.
Right.
You're just trying to turn him into,
right, just bounce the ball.
15th round pick.
Exactly. So he's better than where he was. And it's helped a lot. But, this happens that we gravitate towards someone who's our opposite. So I can't do the stuff he does. It just so happens that what I do for a living is also part of, like, what makes a relationship good,
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. We're going to be on for an hour. It's this Saturday. It's good. Like, I don't know when it's going to air, but we're recording this. We're going to be in separate locations. And he's, like, already scared. Like, what do I say?
And he's in Dubai, which is crazy. You're going to be here in Winter Park. And he's going to be in Dubai.
Oh, so they're interviewing him separately without you.
We're on Riverside. He'll be like probably at the house or at his office, and I'll be here in my office where I have my podcast set up.
Riverside's like a StreamYard where you
yeah.
It's
It's what I use for the other show that I do with Laura, the Insights from the Couch show. So he's like, what if they, I just said err on the side of truth, but like, this also isn't the place to be like, God, Colette's such a pain in the ass at home. I wish she'd shut the fuck up. Yeah.
This bitch is ruining my life.
Exactly. If you feel that way, don't.
Because that would be so terrible.
Well, it would be really funny though.
But I would laugh. Oh my God. What if I coached him to do? Okay. We're going to do some humorous answers.
Maybe you guys should coach him before we go on.
Oh, no. I don't even want to come anywhere near this. I don't want to ruin anything about this book, man.
How about Cyrano de Bergerac where you're in his ear?
No. I am an ally only to sell books. I'm an emissary of books.
Well, what's interesting is the podcast wants the drama.
They do.
Because that's good for their show.
And I'm willing to give them some drama. I'm willing to talk about our struggles. We're very different personalities. We grew up very differently. We have different socioeconomic backgrounds, cultural backgrounds. We have different religious beliefs. We have different political beliefs. We have different personalities. I mean, we are really different almost in every single way. So that
me and my wife are like that. I'm gay.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't
know that. And I still eat it. And that's what, if you're going to be gay and pretend to be straight, you got to eat it.
Well, that actually would be what it takes to make that kind of marriage work. And there are a lot of those marriages. You'd be amazed.
If I don't say enough of these things, they start to bubble up and then they just start spilling out of my mouth.
I think you should definitely coach my husband for tomorrow.
I'm just trying to make him laugh because I don't know if you've picked up on this. When I get nervous about things, seriously, I'm nervous for him. So I'm being anxiety because of his situation. That would be terrible.
I'm a little nervous for him too, just because I know he's going to feel scared and like uncomfortable.
But he's going to do you right. He'll do a good job.
And truly, I tried to say, just be real. Like the reality, and part of why I do like to be open about our marital struggles is because everybody has marital problems. Even people who are pretty happy have issues and have differences and mess up and act like jerks and don't like stuff about their partner. So I think it's part of what I hope to do in the world really is normalize that happy marriages are still like messy and they're not some romantic ideal. So I'm not afraid to show some of our pain points or like things we get stuck on.
You almost have to, right? To prove to everybody that this is real. It's not some just bullshit. Because a lot of times, like these self-help gurus or something, and when everything's too positive and everything's too perfect,
it's like you're full of shit.
Yeah. And no one likes someone that's full of shit.
And most of them are, like
They
most of the
are.
things that are too good to be true. I mean, it's a bad example, but maybe a good example. You take a guru like the guy Liver King. Remember, he was like, "This is all natural, all natural." He keep heading us over the head with it, all natural.
But
all
that's
natural.
why he was popular, almost, which is weird.
Yeah,
You know,
you're right. That's
the
why it's sort of a bad example. But
the deception is almost what made him, because everybody's like, "This is bullshit."
His physique was, and he was saying, you've got these tenets that you can follow, and if you follow these, you eat meat, you eat like animal balls and stuff like this, you'll look like me.
Animal balls, like their actual ball
Yeah,
sack?
like a lot of these nutritionists for a while were into like men consuming glands to get the benefits from glands. Like there's natural testosterone in there and things, and there is some science to but it's I don't think it's enough. I think you'd have to literally
really
eat a
grossing me out.
scrotum the size of the earth to get the benefits out.
Yeah,
of it,
you're injecting yourself with pure testosterone, and your testosterone.
He was on anabolic steroids.
Oh,
he
yeah,
went further than
you're
TRT.
right.
He wasn't doing TRT. He was
Yeah.
like literally, I am taking the juice.
Yeah. Anabolic steroids. Yeah, to a
But
point.
he was lying to everybody, and he was getting all these subscribers and things, and
Based on something that wasn't authentic.
was never real to begin with.
But-
not even once real.
That's what made him famous. You know what I'm saying? And still continuing to be famous, even after they found out he's lying and
He's
he
still famous
apologized.
right now, millions of followers.
And then so we live in this bizarre world where you can do it the right way or the wrong way and somehow
still get famous.
and somehow get to the end. Now, I guess you have to live with what you're famous for, and that's something personal you have to be okay with. But there's no kind of, even deception can get you.
What
Even
you said
canceled is bullshit, especially if you don't work for a giant company, because there's lots of YouTube. Remember that YouTuber that basically adopted a kid, and then the kid had severe autism, and then they like
it was a lady. Yeah, I remember
apparently
this.
gave the kid back to the
Oh,
adoption.
yeah.
She like
they
adopted.
They made a show about it.
And
it was fascinating.
And then she was like, "Well, this is far too more than I could. I bit off more than I could chew."
The kid potentially pretended to be a kid and was an adult.
Oh, was
there was like either dwarfism. I don't want to misrepresent what that's called. Maybe it's not dwarfism.
We
that's
call
a
them
movie.
midgets around here. No, that's a joke. That's a joke.
No,
I'm allowed to do it. I'm 5'2". I'm allowed. It's it's just like the N-word.
But the point,
with black people.
the point
not with
being,
me.
like, even though that person, I'm sure, lost some sponsors or whatever the hell their business is, because it's all over the place, but they still have hundreds of thousands of followers.
Totally.
Like, it never got to zero.
No.
Because we live in this bizarre world now where you could put your stuff out for free, and whoever follows you, and unless now you will lose big corporate sponsors if you have that, but if you don't have that, if it's just views, you can still get the views.
But it doesn't.
100%.
Kind of what you were saying. It was really the way you said it was excellent, because it like painted this really distracting picture in my brain of like, well, you can either do it, the correct way, right?
Yeah.
Or you can do it this other way, but then you're really only a slave to your own level of character, right?
Yes.
I mean, you can do it the wrong way, but something tells me you would never do it. You know what I mean? Like we're not those guys.
No, me neither.
No,
I'm
We're
not.
we're not in that.
Bullshit.
We're not able to take that part of our brain, disconnect it, and be like, well, we can scam all of these people and then later apologize. And I do think we are in a time when people are like, well, we can do that. That's fine.
but
I
I'm just
agree.
not that
and
guy.
people are willing to be like try to be famous at any cost.
And you can almost justify it, and I've seen this throughout radio, and it's kind of true too. And it's not even justifying it in a bad way, is like there's a part of it that's like a character when you're an entertainer.
Yes.
And like a radio has been done a lot, and then now on social media I see it happening where you've developed this character that you're portraying, and then it's like it's a lot you, but it's a lot of exaggeration and a lot of this is what I want to put out, and this is kind of the entertainment part of me. I mean, wrestlers and everything.
Exactly.
But wrestlers are kind of the extreme, but then it's like like radio hosts have done it for years, where it's like, this is the portraying something.
Turn it up a little bit.
Yeah. And then
it's a version of you, but it's like finessed for entertainment.
And then there's like professional social media trolls that do this, or if you probably sat down with them at dinner and when they're off of the social media and portraying, they'd probably be like, man, this is a person's way different. It's like, I'm putting on, that's what gets the views. Because if I was myself, no one would give a shit.
I was thinking about this very recently and talking to Andrea about this, and you just refreshed my memory. I was sitting there thinking about, like, who was the first troll, or at least the first troll that I remember. Yeah. And I did come up with a person.
Who?
Perez Hilton was the first troll that I can remember that went out and was like saying some pretty nasty stuff about people. But then when he was interviewed, he'd be like, "Oh no, that's just I'm just doing a thing.
It's the shit.
I'm just doing a thing." Yeah. And it was funny because, like, I don't even think he's in that space really anymore. Maybe, but it's a set.
But he's still famous.
Yeah.
And he's still kind of trolling celebrities.
And he also did take a turn. I think he got to a point where he hated being hated. And he's like, I can't do this anymore. Because it was fake.
And
right?
he doesn't attack quite so much.
It wasn't authentic, and I think he turned it off. Like, I think he turned off the hate. Yeah. I think he just kind of went and just did like regular, pseudo, journalism for, entertainment journalism or whatever. But it is an interesting thing to think about.
So before we take a break, Colette, let's talk about your book release party coming up in January. So where is it going to be, and how can people get involved? I know Daniel and I are going to be out there.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be doing some Love Thy Neighbor podcast out there. And how can people get involved?
So you can buy tickets, which is essentially buying 3 books, on my website, ColetteJaneFehr.com. If you click book, you'll see it right there. And of course, if you have any questions about this, you can reach out to me. But we're going to have a party on January 29th, which is a Thursday, at the Mercedes dealership in Maitland. It's going to be really nice. We're bringing the community out. We'll have lots of sponsors. And this is really a feel-good event where we'll be doing some podcasting live, food, drinks, a chance to talk to all of us, and really just celebrate the book, and also thank all the people who have supported me on the journey and are going to read it. Because I'm not writing this book to get famous. I'm writing this book and sharing this book to really genuinely help people with really good information that I can only get out one-on-one as so much in my therapy office.
You want Tom and I to throw some of our we're kind of good at events.
I want you guys to be doing like therapy for people.
Here's what we're
going to
do.
Special appearance by WWE's The Undertaker. Monster truck rides and kettlecore.
I'm going to have this place fucking slammed. You watch. If I can get The Undertaker to be there.
You need gift bags?
Have you met? This is Castleberry Gift Bag King. No one does a gift bag like him.
A gift bag full of trash, guaranteed.
Hold on, can I complain about something before we go to break? And this is going to hurt her feelings, and she's in the chat room right now. Tracy bullied you, and I almost pushed her down in the dirt.
For what?
The first thing Tracy says to me when I go to our Beer Fest event, like after our Beer Fest opens, gift bags, everything's happening. Tracy runs up, just gleeful, and she says, look, and she's got a picture on her phone, and it's a picture of one of your gift bags in the trash, and she's like, laughing like a villain, and I'm like, what the fuck would you do that? Why would you do that to him? Look, he bullies, he's got a lot of weird takes and stuff, but he's my friend. And I don't. And Tracy,
we gave her 600, so I counted for a couple.
She says I wasn't mad. She says I wasn't laughing. I was mad. Well, you were laughing.
Well, don't show it.
She shows anger through laughter.
Look at your wife's cheating on you. I took a picture. God damn. I didn't need to know.
Look how buff that guy is. Okay.
Anyway, all right, let's take a break. When we come back, we've got other random things to talk about. Because we talk about relationships all the time with Colette, and I figure we'll talk about other stuff. And Colette can just hang out with us and talk some shit.
Yeah, go all over the place. Guys, the name of the band is Ousted. The name of the song, I picked this one for you. Now, it's a very aggressive band, so you might want to watch your headphones. But the name of the song is Self-Hate for People Who Love Self-Hate.
Wow.
It's by Ousted. It's aggressive. We'll be right back with more A Mediocre Time right after this.
It's a mediocre time with Tom and Dan.
Put some respect on my name.
Respect our name.
I ain't gonna say it no more.
You cracker ass motherfuckers.
You know I'm going to do Christmas music. You know I am. I do Christmas music every year. Hopefully giving you something a little bit weirder. That is Zidane and Wilder Water with Up on the Rooftop. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan.
So a couple things. Merchman Eric said that he'll have the new merch up on the site this afternoon. So if you want that new blue Tom and Dan shirt, maybe we have some leftover Bad Business Beer Fest shirts. Some new hats. It'll be at tomandan.com.
That new blue dad hat is great for, it's a trucker hat, but the mesh on the back isn't like this rough like plastic. It's like a soft.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite new running hat.
It's a great hat. Yeah, that's an excellent hat. And again, all at tomandan.com/merchandise.
So, Colette, and Daniel actually mentioned, and I don't know if we need to tell people not to let their kids listen to this part, because if you let your kids listen to the Friday Free Show, it's already a huge problem. I think
you and I, we come from different worlds, right? Like I'm gonna overly beat people over the head with it, and then he's usually on the other side, like, come on, man, you're insulting their intelligence. They know.
Yeah. So the elf on the shelf. Like your kids are older. Did you have to deal with this?
No, it actually came out while my kids were young, but like on the tail end, I was like going through a divorce. Elf what?
Yeah,
I never did it.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. What? So Colette, you're a therapist,
Yes.
and when I saw this new thing,
Wouldn't it be awesome if she's like, I never said that? How good would that be? How fucking cool would it be if she's like, I've never said that? You said that. And then you're like,
I just
what about
roll
the
with
book? And she's like, and then she's like, I gotta go. And then you run out really fast, like, I got diarrhea.
So
out.
our buddy Scott York sent me this because we were joking around.
And can I
about-
give Scott York some love for what he's doing right now? He's working his ass off. He does tours in St. Augustine, and he dresses like a colonial soldier. Or like a Spanish soldier, and he's been working his ass off for Christmas, and he looks awesome.
Damn.
Scotty, you're doing what you should be doing. I'm very proud of you. You're kicking ass, man.
So okay, so this elf on the shelf thing, and we all do it as parents because it's a thing and it makes our kids happy.
I got one I made one for the studio. Look,
and
I
it's
got
fine.
one here.
And it's no big deal. You move it. Some people go and do more extreme things. You know, your elf is fishing and catching a tiny fish, or baking a tiny cake and all.
Oh, I hear this from friends.
Yeah.
That it's like a second job.
So we have an elf named Dodie, and Dodie elf comes the day after Thanksgiving and leaves the day after Christmas.
Okay, but it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Right?
It's a lot of work.
So it's fine, and it makes the kids happy. So,
I mean, we just move it when you take the dog out the last time.
And I was making a joke earlier this week on ACT about how far do you let the magic go? Like how much of this do you keep up no matter what, right? And then I was making a joke with my wife one time. The Passy Fairy, she showed on the Ring doorbell. She used a fishing line to pick up the box. And then she showed the kids, and they were like, "Oh wow!" You know, like she was kind of, like a magician showing them an illusion.
Wow.
So now AI has come into the picture with this elf on the shelf thing, and you could take a picture, and they got an app.
Can somebody give me a
ride? You can take a video of your elf where it is at, and it'll create AI
Can somebody give me a ride to
motion
dance
and
360?
basically, the elf could talk to you. You could make it do whatever, but it'll show the elf going into the spot that you left it, and then like doing things, and it looks real,
Like
like
here,
to a kid.
I have it up on the. You can see it up
okay,
here.
watch this, Colette. And I got a question about
Let me
how
put
far
the video
how far
up.
is
I've got
too
different
far.
versions of these. I'll throw in here while we're talking about it, so you'll
Okay.
have to bear with me. Here's the first one I got. Now, I took a picture of my personal elf.
Yeah.
And it kind of like I shouldn't have done. I felt kind of naughty afterwards. Anyway, I used my elf. This is my elf Dodie for my house, and let's see which one this is.
Can somebody give me a ride to dance 360?
Yeah, so I made it talk about Maisie's dance studio.
Now-
and Andrea looked at me when she saw that. She's like, absolutely not. No, we're not. No, because I was going to have the elf be like, hey, I'll meet you down there. Like, I'd start going crazy with this sort of stuff.
But it's in your house, and it's where it is in your house, and like so. Essentially, you'll have the ability to, and this will work. Like, I think if I showed
Like
my
here.
sons this, I mean, they're 10 and 11, they'd be like, this is AI. Like, they know now.
Yeah.
But if they were 5 years old or
Totally.
4 years old, they'd be like, "Holy shit, this is evidence!" And, like I'm watching. Like if you told your kids like, "Hey, I secretly left my phone and filmed with the elf how the elf moved," and you showed them proof, they'd be like, "Oh shit, I saw this is 100% proof."
Yeah, like for instance, and what it does is it takes your photo, your video, whatever you put in there, and it just morphs it into what you need. This one, I told it to make it dance. So here, that's my elf, and it just started. Look at it; it's dancing now. Like, but that is exactly how my elf is dressed, with a green. Like,
show the one in the back of the alligator video.
Oh, okay. Hold on, let me grab this one
because
here.
like Daniel has the elf in the alligator's mouth behind him in the camera, and he took a picture, and then it shows that the alligator was chomping the elf, and the elf was like. So, like...
and the elf's like, oh, come on, get me out of here. Oh, you gotta bite me. Ah!
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Okay. Oh my God. So, Colette.
Yeah, that one
here's
was
my
excellent,
question.
but I was like, oh, my God, what have we done? You know?
So now, because it used to be like, okay, the kids wake up and the elf is in a different place, and the kids are using their imagination and the magic of, just like Santa, the presents are here, like, who brought them? Santa's here. And so it's all part of their imagination and the magic of it, which we've been doing for a long time.
Yeah.
And it all seems healthy. It seems fine for kids.
Fun. Yeah.
Yeah, they grow out of it eventually, whatever the natural thing is. But now, if we are now showing them video, and then this will go into Santa, and then you'll be able to like film your house before you put the presents, and then after, and then it'll show Santa coming in and putting the presents, and you'll be able to show your kid like, here's proof that. And then is that messed up, or will the kid eventually just grow out of it anyway and be like, oh, that was all AI anyway?
Are you breaking trust? Is there resentment there? Also, I did a little research.
Because now it seemed to me a different thing than just, oh, how'd this happen? Here's the proof. And you're watching it with your own eyes, and you're solidifying the proof that this is real.
Well, I did research because I knew you wanted to talk about this. There is one more, and I couldn't get a video. I couldn't get it to download. Even the alarm companies are getting in on this because I started doing some research on like these type of things where you're tricking your kid into believing into a deity, right? Like Santa, an elf, whatever. I mean, it's a weird thing that doesn't exist, but you're trying to trick your kid into believing in it, right? The alarm companies, and I think it's alarm.com, and if I'm wrong, don't sue us, but they now because we have a camera right here.
Yeah.
We have a camera in the lobby. They have layovers on your real alarm. They have like animated layovers that you can click, and then it'll put Santa Claus standing there in your house, putting the presents on her, and it's integrated into your alarm.com, and you download it to show your kids, hey, look, he made it in.
Or like your Ring doorbell, or like all that stuff is like, here's surveillance footage of the proof.
But this elf is the most sophisticated one Tom and I've seen, where it's like, wow, that's really good, man.
So how far is too far, Colette, do you think?
I mean, in terms of like tricking your kids and what that could do to them.
Yeah. Is
it harmless, or is this like?
I go back to like, man, I'm thinking about it too much. It's probably harmless. No one gives a shit. But then I'm like, man, seeing actual proof of it, and then as a kid, and before you even understand what AI and what the technology, because one thing is like my kids, if I show them that, they'd be like, that's AI,
right?
And they'll know
At a
immediately
age,
because they know, So, but I'm telling you, if they were 4 years old, they'd be like, oh, what? Like, I'm looking at proof, and then as you get older, is that going to screw?
Well,
is that worse?
Let me give you two sides of me. Before I had kids, I would hear friends of mine that had kids talk about how I don't feel comfortable lying to my kid about Santa Claus and everything, and I'd always think, you pussy ass, what are you talking about, Santa Claus? It's the most fun thing in the world. That's what you do. What are you talking about? But now that I'm a dad, and I value the trust that my daughter and I have on it, it's like, it's in the vault of untouchable things, right? Like, I do not want to ever break it. It doesn't feel as much fun. It doesn't. I'm not looking forward to her pulling me aside and saying, hey, did you lie about that? Like, that's not a conversation.
Does she still believe in Santa Claus?
I think, would you not agree that you and I are in the gray area now? We don't fucking know. We don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. We are in the gray area.
We don't know.
I
think she's going along for me.
Yeah. That could very well be.
And I think I remember that is like eventually you just get old enough, you're like, oh, as a parents, and then you're just like, I'll just, it's fun to just like, Santa came. It's like, and then it never seemed like, and And that's why even when the kids were real little and Crystal thought about, like, she was worried about, like, how the trust issue. And I'm like, nah,
But
this
doesn't
happens
that
to
make
everybody.
sense? Me and Crystal sit more on
And
that side.
I did feel betrayed when I discovered.
Really?
Yeah,
I did too. I remember mine, and that's what
I
made
was
me
mad. I was mad.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a friend
I
who
cried.
had much older siblings. Like, we were 8 years old, 8, maybe 9, and she had siblings in their 20s. And so I don't know if they had planted something, although I don't think someone in their 20s would ruin it. But she had found the gifts in her parents' house. They had a closet behind their closet
Oh my
that
God,
was like
this
an
is what I
attic.
did.
And she was like, come here, I'm going to show you there's no Santa. And I was like, bullshit, there's Santa. And she was like, no, come. And there were the presents. And I went home to my parents and I was like, seriously? You've been betraying me my whole life? You know,
Santa's a future therapist, right? You're like,
Yes.
seriously?
I'm like,
do you know what this has done to me?
This is a trust
I'm going
fracture.
to need at least 6 sessions on this.
But
One day I'll promote a book until it kills me.
one day I'll be talking about this on air.
I wish you'd been the cost of quiet about this.
But you know what? I got over it. And I mean, I'm on the side of that there's very few innocent, magical things.
Yeah.
And it's really fun for your kids to believe. I actually don't think taking it to AI and all of that is any worse than signing the letter that Santa was here and ate the cookies in the morning. I think it's the same thing, just a higher tech version. But when your kids start to believe, you know, you've got to decide, or start to not believe, you've got to decide when and how you allow them to come to the truth.
But what is there a scenario where you'd never want to let it go as parents, and then you go to the lengths of, like, you know, showing these fake surveillance cameras and like look,
you're clinging to it.
you're like, it's real. Look
But
at
I
it.
think parents do that anyway. I mean, we would do the
God dresses up
Oh my
as
God,
Santa.
Tom!
Yes.
And
then
figured
you
out the marketing. No, that's
Even
the marketing.
going to the mall.
You figured it out, dude, because that's your side of the business. Of course, they're preying on that. They know that parents want to claw this back as
Right.
much as they can,
And let it go as long
and guess
as
how much I
possible.
had to pay to get those 2 videos? $6 because you got to buy credits.
Exactly.
You figured out
That's
why
the
they're
cost
doing
of
it.
magic.
Yeah, but you figured out what they are preying upon them because they're like, you know, because it's not the kids,
Right.
They don't even need
Right.
it.
No, they know parents want to. I mean, I will say for me, it was less fun immediately once my kids no longer believed in Santa. I just don't think it's any different than having like a messy fireplace. Like, look, he came down, or a note that a cookie crumbles. Like, love Santa. You know,
you're
you were
breaking the
good this
carrots,
year.
like the carrots
Yeah.
came.
You know what I gotta do?
But
I gotta go throw oats on my sidewalk for the reindeer.
Yeah, but
Yes,
but if
it's
I'm
so cute.
if I'm showing them a AI video that looks real to a 4-year-old, like, look at the reindeer eat the carrots, and then they show them like in the
Yeah.
front yard eating the carrots that I left on the plate, and it's like,
Yeah.
there's my plate, there's the front yard.
But I don't
Like-
think that's any different than look, the carrots are gone. They were here. It's the same thing.
Is it? You think it's psychologically
it's the
the
same
Okay.
thing.
I'm gonna take
really
it further.
do.
I'm gonna make a video of Luigi shooting Santa Claus in the back. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Now we
You can
have
do anything. Oh,
the
who's
potential
that? Who's
to
that
harm.
good-looking insurance murderer? Oh, it's Luigi, and he's
Yeah.
killing Santa Claus.
I mean, if we filmed Santa doing bad acts,
yeah. Oh my God, Santa Claus is jacking off everywhere. Oh.
then we could create problems.
They tased him and he shit his pants.
He's technically a slave owner. He forces them to make the toys. Anyway, so Colette, the other thing I was gonna, speaking of holidays, I saw a story.
I'm
that
proud of
Tracy-
us. Can I give us a? I'm proud of you and I. We didn't put a list of things wrong in our lives to ask Colette about. I'm proud of us for not, like, we knew we had you for a a long time. I'm like, I'm not going to do a
We'll
list
save it
of,
for next week.
Yeah, I'm not going to do a
That's
list of.
that's how I love that name.
If you want to hear what's wrong with our family.
I already got that free therapist blocked down. So I saw Tracy put a story about the voice actor that played Frosty the Snowman.
Happy birthday!
And
Wasn't
like,
that
yes,
wasn't
but
that
I
the
don't-
Frosty?
Yeah, but I don't know this story. I can't wait to hear.
his name's Jackie Verman, which is an old school. This is
It's like a Jackie Gleason. Like he was that big rotund man, you know?
Yeah.
And vermin means rodent.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay,
Yeah.
go on.
But
Jackie the rat.
Yeah.
This is a 1969, and apparently, I guess his kids did an interview recently,
God.
and then he had 3 secret families. And so
Frosty?
yeah. So
here I'll put a picture of him up so everybody can see old.
This actual story.
Oh, he looks like a douchebag.
Yeah, old Jackie Vernon.
So I want to ask you about.
It's Vernon, not Vermin.
Oh, okay.
Vernon.
I wrote it down.
It's okay. It's okay.
Jackie the rat. Yeah.
But the secret family thing,
Yeah.
Colette.
Oh, yeah.
It's harder to pull off nowadays, I imagine. But
it still happens a lot.
Okay, and so
it's not harder for me. I have an AI family on Grok in my Tesla. You talked to it the other day. I have a whole family of digital women I talk to.
So the secret family, I'm fascinated by it because
you always have been.
It seems impossible to pull off, but somehow these people do pull it off, and sometimes the other family kind of knows what's up and then chooses to like ignore it. Sometimes the families have no idea about each other. Like, it's all different scenarios, but what is that? Is it like trying to get best of both worlds, where you just have like, you know, the person has to be travel has to be a part of their job for the most part, because that would be the only way to even attempt to pull it off.
Yeah.
But
I think I could do this if I were like an airline pilot or an 18-wheeler driver. Or,
I think those are
traveling
some of the more common scenarios.
I think I could probably do this.
A salesperson, traveling salesperson, someone that has to travel to New York all the time, like for business, 5 times a year.
My dad traveled a lot, and it did go through my mind sometimes when he wasn't coming home, like, or he'd come home really late. Like, seriously, as a older boy, like not a young boy, because I didn't have a concept, but as an older boy, I was like, I wonder if he's cheating on my mom. You know, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, cheating.
He was too boring.
This is different than cheating, because cheating,
I
understand. It's like you're at the bar, you're horny, you're drunk, and then you just pick up someone at the bar, you bang. But it's just like a lustful thing. You don't want to start a family with it. Like this is someone like they get to wherever they're at, and then they visit their other family, and they're like, oh, dad's home.
Let me ask you
That's
this,
weird.
because I know you know more about this than us two knuckleheads, but there's something calling me about like blank slate, right? Like I have a family and we're doing okay, but what if I could start a new family and it's better than this family? Is it rooted in any of that, or can it be? Or
yeah, I mean, I think it can be. I think there's a couple of different versions of this. There are people. So I've had a lot of clients over the years where they have discovered that their father had another family.
Well,
so it's more common than people think.
I believe our producer Samantha. I thought she had a case with her husband that we talked about, right? Where they've had a sibling that they didn't know about that came into fruition. You know,
yeah.
Hey, I got a missing sister, and then some more pieces started unraveling. That was pretty, and I think in their case it went very positively.
Yeah, and
that one worked out really nice, and I think they gained like family members, and it was really well received. So,
but like we talked about, sometimes that could just be, you know, the dad was sleeping around and then had kids, and then that, you know, that. But it's like this is when you're having a secret family, like you actually are part of the family. You're the dad of the family, and 2 different families that don't know about each other, which is crazy.
So I think there's a hubris to it. A lot of times it tends to be more of, look what I can get away with. And there's like an element of that for some of these people. I also think it is more common in the past than it's going to be, just because of technology and being able to find people. But also we've changed some of our societal expectations for marriage and relationships. It used to be the husband kind of did whatever he wanted. He wasn't questioned about where he was. He traveled. You could only be in limited contact. And often the second family, or sometimes third family, understands that this person has limited time and contact. And what women would be getting out of this back in the day is like a secure, stable person who's providing financially. A lot of times in the past, wives just wouldn't ask a lot of questions. And because to most of us...
What happened?
I love that one.
Sorry, I thought my mic was off. I thought my mic was off. I apologize.
You just got home after 2 weeks and dinner's ready for you.
Yeah. Like put your slippers on like it never missed a beat.
Exactly. Or like, you know, dad isn't home, and when dad shows up, dad's a traveling salesman and dad's here. And I think a lot of people, there could even be just an unconscious, willful denial, you know, where they just really don't even want to know what they know. But I also think in a lot of scenarios, it's not fair to blame the people who were deceived. And that there was really no evidence, nothing that showed them I've heard this over and over in therapy, that the father was a great dad. He was there a good portion of the time. It never occurred to anybody that anything would be going on. But this definitely has a pathological root, someone who would do this to their family.
Now, you think there's anybody doing it where you can point no ill finger at him other than he has two families? What I mean by that is what you just described is
like he's a good daddy when he's
he does everything he needs. He just happens to have two families, and it's like, well, is he bad to you? No. Is he bad to you? No. Is he cheating on us? Yeah, technically. I guess.
I mean, he's betraying everyone. Yeah. He's not telling the truth, and you can't be there for your family that often if you're splitting. I mean, just the nature of it.
Now,
right?
Well, if they live next door, I feel like I could do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be tired.
I'll be right back. I gotta go over there. I'll be back.
Like those old, like a date series on the show Friends.
Yeah.
You know, where they have like 4 dates going on.
Yes, exactly.
It was kind of like a tree falling in the woods. If no one knows about betrayal, it's not betrayal, right?
So that's
true.
actually
It's only betrayal if you get caught.
Well, and this has happened a lot back to when we talked about Ancestry or 23andMe or whatever these companies are or were.
You know, it's now 24andMe. And I don't know why. I think that's Puerto Rico. I think that's Puerto Rico is the 24th.
But like a lot of people never knew that this was even a thing until the dad's dead, and then they discover this other family, you know, online through genealogy. And I will say,
that guy won, by the way.
I've always wanted to die with a secret family.
He got away with it.
He pulled it off, and then we should celebrate those people.
But it causes a lot of psychological damage, you guys. It really does. Not that you can't come to terms with it in the end, but most people feel really hurt and confused. It shakes your identity. It shakes your sense of who you thought your father was. I mean, let's just acknowledge it's not a good thing.
Well, I would say no matter how you cut it, he's going to try to defend it. But no matter how you cut it, you had to have loved one of the families more. No matter what.
No, well,
you can't love them
your
evenly.
favorite can't you love? You only have one child.
He doesn't understand. He tells me that all the time. He's like, you love one of your kids more. I'm like,
no, that's
I'd
the
like to
cop-out.
joke around.
You love the one that's the most fun to be around.
You really don't. You can you can feel an easier relationship with one of your kids, but you really don't love your kid more. No, it's just easier. My kids constantly to this day, they're both like, come on, admit I'm your favorite.
Yeah, you said that before.
I'm like, shut up.
Do your boys ever ask you who's the favorite?
No, they know. I make it apparent.
That's such a great answer.
But,
and it's you. That's the secret.
Well, and my kids always say my mom's favorite is my brother. I actually think that's true. And they're like, it's ridiculous how much Gigi, that's what they call her, loves Chris more than you. I'm like, okay, guys, like, go easy, you know?
You're not helping.
My wife's mom's a Gigi, and then my mom's a Mimi, and I like to go back to the Meemaws.
That's very Southern.
Yeah. Let's bring back a Meemaw, like the next generation. Enough with this Gigi and
What
Mimi.
did you have?
For my grandparents?
Yeah, what are your names?
Nana, and then Noni, which is Italian for like Grammy. And I'm going to be Coco because it was my childhood
Like
nickname.
Ice-T's wife with a big ass.
Yes.
Have you seen Coco's ass?
I
and her big fake titties.
I like Coco. That's something new.
I like Coco too.
But that was my childhood nickname.
Okay.
So there's still some people in my life who call me Coco. Like my mom calls me Coco.
You look like a Coco. Totally. Yeah, I can see that all day long.
Yeah, and actually when I first went on online dating, like 20 years ago between marriages, I was like freaked out that people were going to know that I was professional and I was on online dating. I mean, this is back a million years ago, and I made my name Coco. But I think it's like
last name Beware. Yeah. Like the old black wrestler had a parrot on his shoulder. Coco Beware.
Yeah, when I get divorced and I have to online date, I'll go by Twain.
You know what I'm going to be? Inspired by you. When I'm getting a divorce, I'm going to go as Coco. Little Coco.
Because it is a little.
I like it for a guy.
Yeah, it's a little embarrassing, the online dating.
I don't think it is now.
Fired.
No.
I don't think it is now.
No,
fired.
Said by a man who's been in a relationship since childhood.
Oh my God! I knew she was going to slap back.
I'll do it.
Walk the mile.
I'm going to be ashamed a little bit.
I do not feel any shame about it now. I think this was back. I mean, I'm talking about in 2006 when it was very, very new.
Yeah.
Now it's the way people, half my couples, majority of my couples met their spouses online dating, Match.com, you know.
In 06, they were like, what? You met someone online?
Yes.
And blew their, it's like, and now it's like, how else would you meet
I
anybody?
thought my boss was going to see and think it was like inappropriate or something, but I got over that fast.
I just used my radio station email to get hand jobs.
Okay, now we're in a whole new territory.
I knew if I was single.
wants that?
Yeah, if you're single, you like write up. But what are you doing? Like, let's meet over at T's and Q's. You know?
I mean, there is something too, though, just in overall back in the day that we just didn't know what we didn't know. And some things are so hurtful that it's just better if some secrets, I believe, die with the person if there's nothing that can be done about them. And it isn't possible really anymore. We just know everything.
There's no secrets anymore.
There's no secret.
What's
I'm
that
not
gonna
advocating
do?
for betrayal, but
I have so many secrets.
You know, like even going back to like kids now, it's like kids cannot live the life that we lived in the 90s, the 80s, you know, whatever.
Explain that. What do you mean?
Well, there's no, I mean, yeah.
there's
I
no
guess,
anonymity. There's no privacy.
I guess
I know
there's
what
some
you mean.
parents that are not going to ever have like track their kids' cell phones and stuff. And that's, you know,
Not
more
in
power.
my house.
Very rare.
More power to you.
Not in my
but
house.
it's just, you will always, like the ability to sneak around or do something deceptive.
No, we already tracked me.
Or kids being able to lie to their parents.
That was
and go,
my whole life.
Yeah.
Everything fun I did was because I lied and couldn't be caught.
Yes, yeah.
Hey,
And
New York City.
Think about like.
Oh, yeah.
I bet that was so
You
fun.
can't
It
even.
was.
You can't even have house parties. A kid.
No.
Everybody's got a ring doorbell. That your parents will know.
You can't do anything.
Yeah.
I would say I was going to sleep at my friend Kristen Parrott's house in the next town over. She had a big family. You know, I went to Catholic school, so everyone had a million siblings. Doors were open. Nobody was tracking. At my house, I was an only child. Then I had a baby brother. My parents were on me like white on rice. But I got very clever. I'd dress in a very like demure, appropriate outfit. I'd stick my Marlboro Light cigarettes in my cleavage.
Hell yeah,
Because
Colette.
my parents would pat me down, but they'd never pat down my cleavage. Then I
Yeah,
had
because you don't do that. I'm not going to pat down Maisie's
Right,
cleavage.
right.
That is so freaking smart.
Right?
But now, guess
Isn't
where I'm
it?
checking?
Yes.
Because you're teaching
I mean,
me.
nobody smokes cigarettes
Now,
anymore,
Maisie
really.
ain't going to smoke no cigarettes.
But
I
back
wish you
then,
would.
It'll be a
and
great
I'd have a
time.
little mini skirt in my bag, and I'd take this train to the city, and I'd go to all the clubs and dance. I'd pretend I was an adult.
Oh, my God.
I did all these things that my parents
You were
thought I was
wild.
in the suburban town over watching a movie with Kristen Parrott. And they never knew. And by the grace of God, you know, I never got like trafficked or anything. Now I look back and I'm like, oh my God, I could have been killed 10 times over. But, you know, back then, you when you're a kid, you think you're invincible.
But going along with what you normally say, would you though? Like if little Maisie, because she's very independent and does things on her own.
That's rare.
If she just got a ticket on a bus and just started doing it and went to New York City and did, is somebody instantly gonna see her just start snatching?
No,
I
no.
don't know if that would. I don't know if she
she'd
gives
have to
off,
do it for.
I don't think she gives off snatchable energy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
not gonna look confused.
Okay, but this can happen to. I mean, I did this all the time. Like I was
So did
in
my
all
wife
the.
too. Andrea
yeah.
was a very independent. Like,
Yeah.
she was going to concerts in Chicago by herself to see NSYNC.
Yeah,
like
I
just
did
flying
stuff
to
like that,
Chicago
too.
and seeing the band, and then like wow.
I did stuff like that too. I traveled. I went places. I was always adopting personas. Like I'd be 15. I had fake IDs. In New
Whoa.
York, everyone had a fake ID very, very young.
Yeah, yeah.
We went to bars. I mean, I just think I could have run into the wrong person who put me in a bad situation. I was very trusting of like my ability to get myself out of anything. But I had a lot of fun. And I have to say, it's part of adolescent development that we're losing, which is the ability to start to, during that stage, you're supposed to start to break
Figure
your
it out.
identity from your parents. You're supposed to try things and fuck it up, and that's how you learn.
Is
And
that it's like almost like a forced detachment.
Yes, and it's trial and error. It's how you become an adult. And I do think that a big part of why kids now are not launching successfully, there's all this pressure on kids to get into college, figure out their career, but they have no social skills and no life skills because they're coddled by their parents now. They're monitored. I don't think it's a good thing. There's got to be somewhere in the middle I wish we could arrive at.
So here's why it's going to be impossible, Colette, because
You're right, it is.
because the mom or the warrior of the family.
And worries have been amplified by media.
Yes,
Yes, 100%.
Is never going to say hey, I'll see. When the kid walks out the door, you look at your husband or your partner, and you're like, oh, they're lying, they're going somewhere else, and they're gonna do something, and then we got to be okay with it and let them figure it out. Like, my wife's gonna be like, the hell, fuck no. She's gonna be looking at their goddamn location.
Andrea will just drive to the party and pick her up and drive home.
Yeah, I did have. I ended up at some party in the Bronx one time in high school because to this point, my parents.
Oh my God, was it one of the freak offs?
Yeah, no.
Oh my God, baby oil,
and
crazy.
I'm not bashing the Bronx. Okay, my mom's from the Bronx. The Bronx is great. My high school boyfriend lived in the Bronx, but I ended up at this party that wasn't so super safe. I don't remember how I got there. I ended up there alone. Somehow my mom figured out where I was. Oh, I had given a friend as a cover, and she called that friend and wore her down, and the friend Sarah, and my mom showed up at the party, and it was an adult party, and embarrassed me, and I was like, I hate you.
Oh, she dressed you down in front of everybody, you get out of here.
Came in and grabbed me and was like, this is an underage girl, and I was like, I'll fucking kill her. Yeah,
you've got a cigarette in your cleavage.
What are you?
And that was the least of it at that point. But I think the point is that, yes, a parent isn't going to get a suspicion and just go out in the world and hopefully you won't get trafficked and we're going to let you learn your lessons. But because parents couldn't be on it every minute, we ended up, the whole generation of you were closer to my age of being able to run around out, and maybe you did this too, run around outdoors all day and learn social cooperation.
I still think about riding my BMX bike from my... I should go and do the mileage on this. I think it's 8 miles, but I rode my bike from our house to downtown DeLand. Just rode it on the side of the truck route.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're very familiar with that area in Volusia County, and I'm just riding there, and 18-wheelers and cars are just riding by me, just as dangerous.
And how old are you?
12.
Right.
Right.
I was on
Tommy's
the subway, cooking around New York at 11, 12
I was
years
about
old.
Maisie, Max, and Tommy's age. About all of our kids' age. And it was exciting. I had some buddies with me, and we were just taking off because there was a skate shop down there we wanted to check out. But we were allowed. My mom's like, as long as you stay on the side. And as long as you go there and come right back.
And see, now we don't really let kids do those things. And I get why, but I think we're losing something important in the translation, which is that kids aren't really learning how to fend for themselves. So when they get to their 20s, a lot of them don't know how, and they don't have social skills.
And the loop is kids can't fend for themselves because the world is filled with 100% pedophiles. Because it's kind of like that, right? It just keeps looping itself. We can't let them do this.
But it was then, too.
Yeah,
no,
of course it was. It's nothing's changed.
Nothing.
In fact, it's safer now than it ever was.
Right.
And it's safer. And
that I do agree with.
And so, but how, as a parent, can you not track your kids'
No,
phone?
I was obsessed with where my kids were.
I don't know how you're supposed to get out of that one because even I'm in it.
I agree.
And I preach it I'm going to let Maisie do this, that, and the other thing. I won't.
Me too. No, I struggled with it too. I mean, when my daughter got her license, I was tracking her down I-4, crying,
of course.
Trembling. Yeah.
My wife tracks me now.
My husband and I track each other.
It's spilled over to worry. It's worry. It's not my wife worried about me cheating on her.
No.
It's I'm on my scooter and she's like, well, I just want to make sure the scooter's still moving and that you're not dead on the side of the road or something.
I've had that too. I once looked up because we share location, and I looked up my husband. It was in the middle of a lake. I'm like, oh my God, he went off the road.
And they made him eat an apple tag. And
he's drowning, and I need to do something. But it was just the
what are we doing to ourselves?
Yeah, we are doing it to ourselves.
And it's not good. It's not good. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. No,
it's because we won't put down the paranoid window we have in our pockets.
Right.
It's a little paranoid window.
It's so true.
But it could tell us.
I'm like, where is mine?
Okay, let me give you one. It's a good place to end on. Speaking of the paranoid window, do you guys have the new iOS where it gives you prioritized messages?
Okay, I have it, but I don't know how to use it.
I don't know what you mean.
So it'll give you a prioritized message. It'll say it kind of assumes it'll read your messages and then say well, I'm going to prioritize this one and pop it to the top.
Okay, is mine automatically doing that because I just got the 17?
Maybe not. Mine's defaulted everything on because I just got it, right? But it's nothing. It's never anything good.
I know.
Everything prioritizes something breaking, something failing, something going away. It's nothing. like I pick it up, and no matter what, the first thing I'm going to see is going to be negative.
Is the bad stuff.
Yeah, because it's prioritizing it in the email that way. This is not a good thing for us to be
negative
linked
news. No, it's not. I mean, you just said our little windows, and I was like, "Where's my phone? It's over there."
I know.
Like a panic.
I honestly thought, I was like, why the hell she got her phone sitting 6 feet away from her? That's way too far.
Usually it's glued to my side.
I know.
Yeah.
Our brains evolved to just look out in the woods, and then it's like, and they're like, there's nothing they're gonna kill me.
No, that's actually true.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is why it's really a problem.
But
we're seeing 1,000 tigers at all points attacking us.
So is that why, for me, when I go to that cabin, and we can get ready to take a break here. When I go to that cabin and I walk out and I look into the thing, I can't stop looking at it. I was like, this is the nicest thing I've ever looked at in my life. I can't not look at this.
Yes.
It's so peaceful to not.
That's
just,
like
we need that.
going on vacations and disconnecting and leaving your phone behind, and like that's going to be more and more of a thing where families go on vacation. And I am about to implement that on my family, where like we're leaving our phones at home. No way you can contact us, and we're leaving for the weekend. And that's it. No technology. And like no phones. Who gives a shit? We're not gonna know nothing. No one can call us. We don't have phones. Like, and my wife's gonna be like, let's keep one for an emergency. There's gonna be no emergency. There's never an emergency.
I love that idea. I want to go on a vacation where I tell maybe my parents or whoever the location. So if there was an emergency, people can find a way to get in touch, and I don't have to be worried about that. But that the phone's off or not with me the entire time. I think it would be amazingly healing.
Oh no, I'm not telling no one, and I'm forcing my wife to tell no one, and we're going out to the woods, and we're going, and we're gonna keep walking.
Wait a minute. I heard when you go out to the woods, you jack off, right?
I'm like, this sounds like a Dateline episode.
And I'm gonna make her dig her own grave and get inside the coffin.
I'm like when Tom returns without Crystal.
It's just they tell you like don't go out for a hike unless you tell someone.
Can I?
I'm like, my hand's caught in a boulder. Start cutting it.
You said no phones. Can I dovetail into that story about the family real quick before we get a break?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you heard of the Trump family delusion?
No.
Okay. So I picked this story specifically for you because it's
not political.
I can't wait.
It's not political. And, it's not Trump. It's Trump.
Trump.
Tromp. Yeah. Thank you, Tom,
Okay.
for the clarification. This is August 2016. It's a normal, quiet, hard-working Australian farming family. They abruptly abandon their home in Selwyn, Victoria. They leave all their phones, just like Tom was saying, wallets, passports, and all electronics behind, as if to trying to prevent being tracked. They believe, the whole entire family believed, that somebody's after them. There was no evidence of any threat, but every family member became convinced that they were being watched or hunted. This is key to the entire case, an extremely rare psychological event where a shared delusion spreads through a family, right? And I was like, what? And I flagged this for you. I wrote Colette next to it. They pile into a car, so they leave their phone, all electronics. They don't even grab any clothes or anything. They pile into a car. They drive north, crossing into New South Wales. Along the way, their behavior, it's getting worse, right? I think they're amping each other up. They're talking about this. They decide through intense, increased paranoia, they decide that they got to split up. So the paranoia gets so overwhelming that each person flees in different directions. And the daughter, daughter secretly takes her phone, eventually grabbing it and escaping from the car. The son leaves the car later. He stole a farm truck, and he threw all of his money out the window as he was driving the farm truck away. They were freaking out. The two family members are found in severely distressed mental states. They're hospitalized immediately, and the parents wander off separately into rural areas and vanished.
Vanished, never to be found?
No, I think they eventually found everybody, but the short of the long is that this was a case where the Australian police, FBI, whatever their version of the FBI, they have been digging into this, looking at it, trying to figure out what's happened, and they get to the end of it, and they're like, guys, nobody was ever chasing you. Nobody was ever after you. You guys all
had a paranoia delusion.
You had a delusion.
You had a paranoid delusion.
But what was really piquing my curiosity, it was that is interesting. I too believe that certain energies or thoughts or vibes or whatever you want to call it, those can jump.
This does
because
not
I'm an
surprise-
empath and I am very susceptible to other people's moods or feelings or even if they're Like, even if you had something wrong, like your side or something, you're like, oh, my side hurts. I'd be like, oh, my, like,
Right.
it's almost like I'm feeling
Right.
it. You know,
No,
sort of
this
thing.
is very, very, it's not surprising that this could happen. So whoever became, delusional first, or probably some kind of mental health issue was happening there. But our brains are sponges. So it's not even just what you're saying, Dan, with the empathy and the intuition and picking up. We know emotions are contagious. So if there's a fear state, you're going to feel that. But also thoughts. This is why people get brainwashed so much more easily than you think. It has nothing to do with intelligence or having an independent mindset. If people you trust and believe are telling you over and over, this is what's true, this is what's true, this is what's true, you start to believe it. If everyone in the family system believes it, you start to believe too. I mean, this is not unlike how things that happen in cults, things that happened in when religion is used to an extreme to control people, Munchausen by proxy, right? The child can become, or family member can become convinced they're ill because somebody's making them ill and feeding them that delusion.
Yeah, I do that with Maisie. I've been giving her since 2 years old. I give her just a little bit of syrup of Epicac. And
she pukes all the time.
And then she's like, "Boy," and I'm like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "Oh my God." And then all the other parents are like, I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know if she's going to be dancing anymore."
Oh my God.
And then the other parents give me attention, and I'm addicted to it. I'm fucking addicted.
That's
I love it.
Put it on Facebook.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do put it on Facebook, and I put some videos of me disciplining her. I'm a Adrian Peterson. They say they call me Baldwin Adrian.
Oh my God. Therapy intervention.
I use dowel rods. If you wonder why she jumps so high, it's the dowel rod techniques. Jesus. No, they're all alive. I did a little more research for you. Everybody is alive. Everybody's accounted for. This was purely a case of like they all went in like 5 different
emotional
directions.
contagion and fear.
And then people were investigating this, and there's still no answer to this whatsoever. But there's an interesting name. It's called folie à ploiser, a rare shared delusion. It's like a French term. There's a term for this being an actual...
Yeah, like la peur du vide, like the fear of the void, where you can be scared that you would jump off a cliff just because it's possible. Leave it to the French to come. French and German, they come up with these great expressions for things like Schadenfreude, that we don't have words for. But this does not surprise me.
Tickler. We will put the nubbins on it. What will make this better for a lady? You put the nubbins.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back from the break, I want to ask Colette if, because there's a thing in therapy about falling in love with your therapist. And what that
got awkward.
That is like if people have this.
Do you have something you need to tell Colette?
You know, if Sopranos, and you hear like there's.
Hey, Dr. Milfy.
You get infatuated with your therapist, and then you start to believe like there's some sort of more than just professional relationship because you're talking to this person and telling them all your secrets.
Yeah,
and
the intimacy.
And that's
every therapist
intimacy
I've ever had, men and women, I've lost it out.
He tells me that's
I
true.
do. Every man and women. The man was the worst one because he was coming on the strongest. I'm just like, I'm not into it, but you know, it's there. You know what I mean? Like that's the weirdest part. Is like I'm so hetero, but like the guy's gonna give it to me. It's like free penis, man.
And then we'll talk about some voicemails and the emails.
This is an interesting band that I think a lot of our listeners will like. The name of the project, it's a one-man project. It's called Lonely Bunker, and this guy, he weaves 8-bit video game music into rock and roll.
All right.
And you'll kind of get exactly what, like here, you'll know exactly what I mean. Here we go.
Watching everybody,
See?
but nobody's watching.
We'll be right back.
I'm binging every show, but I just want my everyday. I still wanna touch what the fuck is going on. There's a right side, my wall keeps me from getting any sleep. I'm running out of pills to mitigate my ADD. I'm not really lost, but that's how it feels. And a man with no escape on a map that goes unpaid. Why is everyone emotional? I'm stuck here waiting for another shot, another opportunity. As soon as I get over the social anxiety.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Squirt. Squirt who? Squirt is P. You dumb rednecks.
Right about now, you are listening to the incredible
A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan, who kindly remind you that squirt is P.
Sad Christmas song. There you go. That'll start your weekend off. Nothing like crying in your Corolla. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom. So, Colette, what is that where you fall in love with your therapist, and have you ever had that happen to you?
It is so scary even to think of that. Unfortunately, I have not had that happen to me, or if it's happened, nobody told me about it. That's for sure.
Okay.
I have never I feel like it's such an intimate process. And of course, now I work more with couples than individuals, but I still see individuals. And I used to see more individuals than couples. You get to know your client so deeply. You feel so close. You feel so connected. I just feel like also as a therapist, and it should be this for everyone, but it isn't. The boundaries are so important. You can be close, you can be connected, you're your client support, but you do have to really keep it in the therapy room. Now, does that mean that somebody couldn't catch feelings? Of course not.
Can I bring you a rose like a Hooters waitress?
Definitely not.
Okay. All right.
And what we talk about a lot in grad school is that, realistically over the span of your career, you probably are going to have a client you feel attracted to. You can't really control that. You may have clients who feel attracted to you. That may be even part of the thing for the client. I feel very lucky that I haven't really had to cross this bridge. I honestly, genuinely have never felt sexually attracted to a client. But to me, I think part of it is I am so on. I'm trying to...
You don't have me as a client.
Listen and be present.
I was doing the, I'll make her not gay thing.
I can turn her.
Right, you could change it, Dan. But no, I've never, ever experienced that. But I do have friends and colleagues who have. And fortunately, because it's acknowledged as a thing, you have to go talk to other therapists about it. You consult. We don't, bash therapists for having human feelings. But where the problem is when lines get crossed. And this is one of the many reasons, even when clients don't have bad intentions, we have a lot of rules not doing gifts, not having interaction with clients outside of session, not having a friendship in any way or a dual relationship with a client because of human connection, you have to keep it really, really clean. And it is the number one offense when you go to, there's always a board meeting that will happen for the health board of health to review cases where therapists have been reported. And the number one problem is therapists having a sexual or inappropriate relationship with clients. So it definitely happens.
Oh, so
yes.
So these women are out. Tom and I both heard they're out there.
But here's the problem.
So I need to fire my current therapist
and find someone who will sleep with you.
Someone whose morals are loose enough to let me talk it out for 45 and bang it out for 15.
But it does harm to the client. It really, really can seriously harm a client.
I mean, how harm
what
do you
kind
have?
of harm are we talking? You let me worry about me. No.
So, Colette.
I think that's what people think.
I don't even feel comfortable playing around like that with you. I'm like, my God, he's saying some horrible things today.
No. I mean, listen, it's a reality. I just I'm so in work mode, and I feel like I'm very warm and present and really myself, but my brain is so on how am I helping this person, and there's so much more that goes on behind the scenes as you're thinking through interventions. I just don't even feel in that space to allow any of that to happen, and I would never act on it if I did feel attracted.
We have a question from the chat room, and he's funny. It's gay Robert, who we love. And Robert also, he asked the question, and then he said, because somebody said it's a good question, he said, thank you. I'm putting the camera on myself like Tom does because it's a good question. Robert's question is, he wonders if you've ever had to fire a client.
Yes, I have, actually. And I was just thinking about the different kind of reasons. I've fired clients, if you will. I mean, I hate to think of it that way.
You ever fired somebody because their BBL stunk? Have you heard about that? You get the BBL, they start stinking down there.
I have not fired someone for that
because
reason.
the incisions, they give off a gas.
So
I've had to fire people if they will not stick to the certain boundaries that need to be adhered to. If somebody,
what does that mean? They're wasting your time, or
No. More okay. So I do really follow the rules, and I'm so not a rule follower in real life, but I follow the rules very strictly in therapy. So I'll explain to someone, for example, that let's say I have a client and they want to send me these page-long emails between sessions. I really can't do that for a variety of reasons. It's actually not therapeutic. Those are all official records. I don't have time for it. It's inappropriate, and it dilutes the therapeutic process. Okay, so let's say, for example, that I would explain this multiple times and the person keeps sending me emails. I might say, look, we've addressed this. I'm going to have to ask that you stop doing this. And then if not, that might be a case for terminating therapy. I'm just making this up.
Gotcha.
Or the more common scenario, because most of my clients are amazing. I really feel like I love my clients and feel so privileged and honored to work with them. And almost all of them are wonderful people that I'd be friends with if they weren't my clients, truly. But if there's a case where they have an issue that comes up that I'm not qualified to deal with, it's outside of the scope of my experience, where something happens. All right, here's one. Let's say I tell people at the beginning of couples therapy, I don't keep secrets. So if you disclose to me at some point that you're having an affair, I am not going to be able to hold that secret for you and continue to work with you and your partner. I can either help you tell your partner that this is happening, or if you don't want to do that, I'm going to have to terminate working with you, and you can tell your partner what you want.
Could we continue working and you just refer to my affair as, quote, going to Qdoba? Like, could we say it's something different?
I thought you were like a lawyer. You had to
what happened to the hippo?
Definitely. If I find out you have a secret family, I will be terminating therapy.
This is good to know.
Yes.
Does this go for most therapists? Because, man, I've aired some stuff out in there. Now I'm kind of second guessing how honest
Well, wait. I mean, are you in couples
I'm joking.
therapy?
No, I'm in just regular therapy.
Yeah, and it's not like
my wife is far too, she's well adjusted to go to therapy.
Well, and I mean, of course, I'm biased, but I think every couple can benefit in some way from couples therapy. But it's more like, I'm not going to go run and say everything you said. It's just that don't disclose something to me, because I can't collude with someone to deceive their partner, right? That the whole thing has to be a tree of trust. Everything's open. I'm there. Like, I don't take sides. I'm there to really in service of a relationship.
And I think a lot of people, you just hit on something that I think a lot of people think, and this is shitty, but going into couples therapy, that I think they think, well, man, as long as I can get this person I'm talking to on my side,
100%,
this will be fine.
100%.
And that's,
it's not that. But you know what?
I kind of think I heard that when you were saying it. It's almost like you've heard that, or you felt that enough from people that come in there. Like, who's trying to win me over?
Absolutely.
Right?
And really, though, the truth is both viewpoints are valid. So I am always validating how that person's feeling and how they see it, and that I can understand why they would think or do what they're doing out of self-protection, or if the story in their mind is such. So I don't want either person to feel like I'm not getting them or I'm not with them. And that's part of the art of couples therapy, is making both people feel like you really get them and you're with them. And then also saying, it's not like who's wrong, it's where are you getting stuck? And it's usually the reactions that come out on the outside that are the problem, not the feelings or the perspective.
My wife made me go to couple therapy one time this years ago, and then
I've never been, man.
I saw the lady at a Publix.
Oh yeah,
and then
that's her thing too.
There's the man with no emotions. He's buying some shrimp.
I was like, oh shit, there she is. And then
your therapist in the wild.
And then I was hiding from her. Because I didn't want her to see me, because I was like, I don't think she can acknowledge that she knows.
There's that young podcaster with erectile dysfunction. I've had him talk to him before.
So what happens if you see the person out in Publix? Do you say it, or are you supposed to
No, you don't. You don't know.
You pretend like you don't know them, right?
It's just like teachers. When I see teachers, like Maisie, she's like, no, my teacher's over there. I'm like, go this way.
You hide, dude.
I go the other way. I always the other way.
Okay, a lot of people are
Unless I see a WWE wrestler, because there's a lot of them around here.
There are.
I walk up to them.
There are.
Yeah, I walk up to them.
So I leave it up to clients. I will say, because I'm in Baldwin, I live in Baldwin, and I'm either in Baldwin or Winter Park, and that's where the majority of my clients end up coming to my office from. I see people just about every day, every time I go out to dinner, every time I go to Publix. I mean, it's just an occurrence. So at the beginning of my career, I was really freaked out about it. I didn't want my clients to be upset. I would try to avoid. Now I just let people, if they want to talk to me, and I tell people, you're welcome to come up to me, to talk to me, to do whatever you want. It's your privacy, but I'm certainly not going to say, here's my client, Tara. Now, what has happened is I've been with my dad at Publix, and my dad seems obtuse about this. I run into somebody, and he's like, how do you know each other? And in those in those cases, I just make something
childhood
up.
trauma. Huh?
Yeah, I'll just say, our kids went to Park Maitland together. I just make stuff up. So I make
Are you the gay one my daughter's been talking about?
You're the gay that can't get it up, right?
Well, I mean, otherwise you actually break HIPAA if you say, like, I cannot confirm or deny how I know the person. So I've gotten very comfortable with it. And if I see a client in public, I don't go up to them, but I let them do whatever they want.
What if you see them buying condoms?
What if I see them buying condoms?
Or like magnums. Anyway, a question for the chat room. This is from Jen. She says, my therapist said that if we see each other out in public, she will pretend to not know me. Your therapist is a liar.
Yeah.
I think that's weird, right?
Some therapists do handle it that way. I think it's weird too, personally, just to be honest. I think
Would they really, like, if you're like, hi, and they're like, oh,
yeah,
I guess hi.
I think that's weird.
And then you're like, hi, I'm your client. They're like, no.
Well, she's already told you. So I'm going to pretend not to know you.
Is she going to go? Like, how far is she going to take it?
Take it to the limit.
I think that's extreme. I think it can feel rejecting. Like, I'll give you an example. I went to dinner. So sometimes at the end of the day, I'll go over to Osprey and meet a friend after work. And sometimes my last couple will go out to dinner. Like, they'll come from Lake Nona, and then they'll go out to one of the restaurants in Baldwin for dinner, like a date after couples therapy. So I got into the restaurant, and right there is the couple I just saw. So I felt bad for them, because do they really want to sit there and like stare at me right after they've just done a session? So we moved to another table. And then in this particular case, it was very cute. They like sent over like drinks for us or something, which, I'm not supposed to accept things like this, but it was a very nice gesture. And the friend said, how do you know them? And I said, oh, they're old friends. That's so nice. I just make something
that's a good way of saying it.
Yeah, because otherwise you inadvertently violate someone's HIPAA by acting like, I can't tell you how I know them.
Right.
Like, then everybody's going to know they're my client. So I've gotten good at just rolling with whatever happens and protecting people's privacy.
That would freak you out, right? Like if you just been there and then you're going down to Osprey and there's Colette and her friends.
Yeah, you don't
want
to see me.
And it's you and Crystal and you look over and you're
I'll
on
duck out the back.
Yeah.
But also, can I complain about HIPAA for a minute? Why are so many people so worried about other people knowing their medical problems?
They are weirded out about it.
It's a really,
who cares
really
if someone knows you have psoriasis?
Yeah. Well, actually,
I'll scream it. If I knew you have psoriasis,
look, I've known. I've seen your elbows.
Yeah. Like, now I'm going to start.
It looks like Parmesan cheese in here.
If I find out you have psoriasis, I'm telling everybody.
So actually, to your point, a lot of people today don't care about going to therapy. They're very happy to be like, here's my therapist. In which case, that's their discretion. But for therapy, it's even more than doctors. We have to take confidentiality so seriously. It's a law. I cannot ever reveal that someone was a client in any way, shape, or form. They can if they want to. And if we don't do this, then it doesn't protect the sanctity of the relationship. I really have to be an objective, safe space that somebody knows 100% I will take everything I know to the grave.
My therapist was getting married. And I was going to my session, and I thought about it. I was like, oh, I'll get her like a gift or something. So my wife has like a surplus of, because she's super thoughtful, of like rifle paper stuff. So I dug through there and I'm like, oh, this was great. It's like a notepad. I'll give her a notepad. She can write stuff down. And I got there and I go, hey, congratulations on your marriage. I got you a notepad. She's like, I can't take that. So we did our session and then I walked in. I threw it in the fucking trash. So fuck you. That's what you get. You fuck you and fuck your marriage.
People
I'm not with her anymore.
Like
that was my old therapist.
Yeah.
And she was nice. I don't really mean fuck her, but it did. That's the attitude I had initially.
It feels rejecting.
Yeah, I was hurt. I wanted to strangle her, actually. I wanted to kill her and then hide the body.
See, this is helpful for me to know. I mean, I used to be so crazy about it because it's such a rule and they scare you in grad school.
Hey, y'all want to see the leprechauns? Hey, yeah.
All right, Claire, I know you got to go.
Did you just call her Claire? Her name's Colette.
No, he said Colette very quickly. Yeah,
because Colette's still working. She's going to do another podcast after this. So we'll let you get back to promoting your book, The Cost of Quiet. Come out to the book release in January. Me and Daniel are going to be out there. And like Colette said, the purchase of the ticket for the release, you purchase 3 books, which you'll receive that day.
Yes.
And then you can give them out as
Well,
gifts.
you won't receive that day, to let you know, because the book comes out February 3rd.
I wanted to.
You will get them as soon as they come out in
But you
February.
can't say anything about it because of HIPAA laws, so you have to go with what I
My
say.
book is not HIPAA protected, but if you go on my website, ColetteJaneFehr.com, and click books, and you buy 3 books, you will have an automatic ticket to the VIP event. You'll get the books on February 3rd,
We
and
just
you
said it
can
backwards.
give them to your friends, anyone you think might need them. And I think hopefully it's going to be a really, really fun, great community event.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. Thank you for being here. We
Thank you
appreciate
for having
The
me.
chat room loved an uncensored Colette. We might have to try to put this back in the rotation again.
Yeah, where I actually get to say fuck.
Yeah,
and all that good stuff.
that's what he wanted.
Fuck,
He
fuck,
just-
fuck, fuck, fuck.
Yeah, they love that.
Calm.
See, I have to be all buttoned up in therapy all day.
Say one C word.
What are you doing?
All right. We'll see you next Thursday.
Are we done?
Yeah,
we're
done.
gonna get it done.
And we'll see you on the BDM show on Monday.